John, can we lock that actually? So there's nobody coming in during the, it's
like a one from the
it's
outside.
not a
Not a
big
big
deal.
deal.
Lock it and then around this door.
Yeah, I don't need to speak on it. It's just not a big deal. Okay. All right, you're ready to go. Okay.
Do you have copies of what you're going to read?
Nope. Sorry. This is for me and me alone. Okay, my name is Stephen Stein, and I am an air safety investigator with the National Transportation Safety Board. That's Stephen, S-T-E-P-H-E-N. Last name is Stein, S-T-E-I-N, and I'm an air safety investigator with the NTSB. Today I'm going to provide you with a short briefing that includes only some of the factual information that's been gathered thus far during the on-scene portion of our investigation. At the end of the briefing, I will open the floor to questions. Before I begin, I have a few ground rules. As an air safety investigator, my primary job is to gather facts. And I'm actually prohibited by law from providing any sort of speculation or analysis as to the probable cause of the accident. So that said, I kindly request that you avoid these types of questions. Today we're here to investigate an accident that occurred yesterday about 1900, 7 p.m. local time, involving a Piper PA-24-260 Comanche airplane. Both occupants of the aircraft perished in the crash. On behalf of the National Transportation Safety Board, I'd like to extend my deepest sympathies to the families and friends of those involved in the accident. Our team arrived last night, or actually not last night, our team arrived this morning, to begin to assess what we need to accomplish during our time on scene. This team is comprised of 2 NTSB investigators and 2 inspectors with the Federal Aviation Administration, as well as representatives from both the airframe and engine manufacturers. Our purpose during the on-scene investigation is to gather perishable information. That is information that will no longer be available to us once the wreckage has been disturbed. Our plan at this time is to continue to document the accident site in situ before we recover the wreckage to a secure facility in Sacramento, California. Perishable information also consists of gathering witness statements, which with the help of local law enforcement, we've been able to begin to compile. I'd also like to encourage any witnesses, anybody who might have heard or seen the accident itself, to please submit their observations to us at our email address. It's witness@ntsb.gov. That's WITNESS@ntsb.gov. Once the wreckage has been recovered, we will start gathering archived information, which is really centered around the man, the machine, and the environment. We'll be looking at the pilot, including his flight credentials, his training proficiency and history, as well as his recency of experience. We'll also be looking at the airframe. We'll examine the airframe and the engines. We take a look at any other systems as necessary, and which may include some follow-up examinations of physical components. We'll also be reviewing the airplane's maintenance history. Also included in this archive examination is taking a look at environmental factors that may have played a role in the accident, including lighting conditions, archived weather data, including visibility, also any sort of archived air traffic control radar and voice data. After I return to my office, I will start to prepare a preliminary report to briefly describe some of the circumstances surrounding the accident. This report will be published within 5 to 10 days and will be available on our website. The website is www.ntsb.gov. Once the fact-gathering phase of the investigation is complete, which is a process that can take over 12 months at times, a factual report will be released, which will be accompanied by a public docket that houses all the supporting information that we gathered throughout the course of the investigation. About 60 days after we publish the factual report, the board will release a brief report, which is sort of an analytical executive summary of the accident, along with the probable cause. Most importantly, if during the course of the investigation we discover any sort of systematic deficiencies at all, we will issue a safety recommendation designed to prevent future similar accidents. In addition to explaining the facts, circumstances, and conditions surrounding an accident, the board's primary mission is to develop these safety products. In closing, I'd like to thank the Sonoma County Sheriff's Office, the Sonoma County Fire Department, the Windsor Fire Department, and the Rincon Fire Department for their outstanding help and support during our time here. Thank you very much. I will now open for questions.
Was the tower staffed at the time of the accident?
I do not know. We're still looking into that at this point. From what we know, there were people in the tower at the time.
Have the pilot and the passenger been removed from the plane?
Yes, they have.
Were they ejected from the plane on impact?
One of the bodies was ejected from the airplane, yes.
Is that the pilot?
We're establishing that right now.
Did the plane send a distress signal at any time?
We're still looking into that, but as of this moment, not that I'm aware of.
Do you have anything on the identity of the pilot and the passenger?
Unfortunately, I'm not able to release any information on the occupants.
Can you say anything about where they lived or where they were from?
I can't, unfortunately. I can tell you that the airplane was coming from Palm Springs.
Did the pilot have much experience?
That's something else we're looking at too. I have a preliminary report of his flight hours, but until I receive his actual flight logbook, I can't confirm that.
Can you say something about his age or anything like that?
Unfortunately not.
How far from the runway did the plane go down?
That's a very good question. I think about a half mile or a mile, something like that, south of the runway.
Is it a small debris field or large?
It's a fairly well contained debris field. It's fairly small. There were a few separations at impact. The right wing, the left wing actually, the outboard section of the left wing was separated at impact. But all those pieces are co-located with the wreckage.
Was there a fire?
No, it was crash fire.
And that's a Piper Comanche?
That is correct, yes.
Does that plane have, that model have any particular weaknesses or known problems or anything?
No, that's not really, I can't really answer that question. That kind of information is available in our databases and archived information.
What about the age of the aircraft?
The aircraft itself, I actually
How many seats?
might be able to. I don't have that. I'm sorry.
And had the plane been flying straight from Palm Springs, or did it stop in between here and Palm Springs?
According to the data we have so far, it was a direct flight.
Do you know what time it left Palm Springs?
I do not. That information is actually in my email inbox right now.
Is it a single engine plane?
That's correct.
You don't have any seated?
I believe 4. Yes, I think it's 4.
So is that plane capable of flying nonstop from Palm Springs?
I can't answer that. We still need to do a performance analysis on the aircraft.
Mm.
Did you say you had a year, the vintage of that?
I don't, unfortunately. I'm sorry. That the information is. I have a document that contains that. And unfortunately, it's not with me.
Do you know what the highest elevation the plane was flying on its route from Palm Springs?
I do not. That's archived ATC data. We're still getting that.
So there was somebody in the tower at the time,
Yes, there was.
and they were tracking this plane presumably, or?
There was one entity tracking the airplane.
And anything about the weather? Was it particularly foggy? It's foggy up here a lot, but was there a dense fog last night when this happened?
I wouldn't say fog. All I have right now, we're still doing a weather workup, and I have our folks at our headquarters in DC, our operational folks are doing a weather workup at the moment. So far, what I've been able to conclude is that there was an overcast layer at 900 feet.
At 900 feet?
Correct.
Does that mean it's clear above 900 feet?
That doesn't indicate anything.
Is the pilot the owner of the plane?
That is actually information I just received from out here, but I need to go through that. That's a packet of information I have in my file.
Yeah, the plane is apparently registered to Tango Romeo Aviation,
Yes, we have that.
and apparently, it's pretty easy to do a web search to discover that
Absolutely.
there is an officer that is connected to that plane.
Yes, and that's the thing. So yeah, you definitely can. Question again?
So the question is, that officer, is that the person who's flying the plane?
I don't know, and that's something we need to look at. So the identity of the people on board the airplane is something we're still determining. We need to confirm.
Man and
We
woman.
have one confirmed, and I can't release that
It's a
information.
man and a woman.
It is a man and a woman.
You have the band confirmed?
I'm not going to go into further detail.
And, say the name of the plane again, the make and the model.
Oh, it's a Piper PA 24260.
PA 24267.
Yeah, 260 separate. The marketing name is Comanche.
Was that plane just used for private purposes, or was it a rental plane perhaps, or something like that?
I don't know. I don't know at this moment, and I don't want to say. I don't want to speculate.
The plane was registered to Tango Romeo Aviation.
That is correct. Yeah, that's what I
Are
have.
they local, you know?
I don't know. No. That would be on that sheet with the manufacturer's year.
Mm. Is there a tail number?
Yes, it's actually.
Steve, the bodies have been removed from the site now, and they're at the corners?
That is correct. It's 9362 Papa.
9326.
Oh, your year is 1969.
9362P?
That's correct. 9362P is in Papa.
And what was the year again?
1969.
60.
69.
Do you have any cylinders on that?
6-cylinder.
Six-cylinder, one engine, right?
That's correct. Yes.
Do you know the name of the airport in Palm Springs and when it departed?
Palm Springs. I think it's Palm Springs Airport. I don't know what time it departed.
That's the name of the airport, Palm Springs Airport.
I believe so. Don't quote me on that yet. The preliminary report's going to have a lot more information.
Steve, can you estimate the amount of time it would take to fly from there to here in that type of an airplane?
I cannot. No.
What about?
Not off the top of my head. I
Ballpark.
can't. No. I'm not.
Do you know how many miles that is, or miles?
And to be honest, this is for both of us, for both of our protection. I want to give you factual information. I would be giving you, good information if I estimated.
The bodies are at the coroner's office.
That's correct. Yes.
Did I hear you correctly, they flew nonstop?
We believe so. We need to confirm that though.
Do you know the last flight that this plane made?
We don't. That's part of the archived aircraft history that we need to.
The last time it was inspected?
Part of the archive information that we need to look at.
Was that plane in the pattern, landing pattern, was it within the normal landing pattern for approaching the runway to land? Or was it outside of the normal area where you would need to land?
What do you mean?
What I'm wondering is, isn't there a normal flight path that the incoming planes follow to land at that airport? And was that plane within that normal flight path?
The airplane was on an ILS approach for runway 32 at the time.
What kind of?
ILS, an instrument landing system approach for runway 32.
132.
No, 32. Runway 32.
And which way does that go?
That faces north.
So it was on, it was landing on instruments, so in other words, the pilot was not flying the plane?
Or northwest, but yeah.
So it was on an autopilot?
No, it still needs to be confirmed whether autopilot is even a factor.
So ILS, though, that just refers to...
That's a type of, it's a type of instrument system designed to assist in landing in in instrument conditions. Instrument conditions can be fog, rain, low visibility, no visibility, total visibility. People use it a lot for many different types of reasons.
Well, just to simplify my question here, was it in the right place to be landing at that airport, at this airport?
Define right place though, I mean,
Was it making, was it in the correct, or was it way off course to be landing? Or was it sort of within the range of where you might be?
still something we need to confirm. I had some preliminary information, but again, I wouldn't be doing you or the family a justice by providing any sort of speculation.
It was approaching from south of the airport.
That's correct.
Is there any information about its last elevation before, it crashed?
We have a preliminary radar plot for last elevation, but again, I don't want to give that to you just yet until I can corroborate that information.
Is there any information on, whether it dropped at a steep?
Steep descent rate?
Yeah.
It's again, the same answer to the previous question.
Was the body that was found outside, how far from the plane was the body found? That was.
One body was found about, I'm going to estimate about 20 feet from the main wreckage, and the other body was co-located with the wreckage.
Meaning inside the plane?
I didn't say that, no.
Looks like
The other one was with the wreckage.
Correct.
anything about the most likely cause at this point you can say?
I told you before, I can't speculate.
Have you narrowed it down to what you're looking at this point?
No, we've been gathering facts all day.
What's the FAA's role in the investigation with
The FAA, I can't speak on the FAA, but they have the FAA is a regulatory focused organization as opposed to us. We're an independent federal agency charged with investigating, reporting the probable cause of aircraft accidents directly to Congress.
Is there any particular fact that you've discovered today that was the most significant?
No. So the way we commonly deal with factual information, and I'm saying this to you because you in particular, because you guys probably don't see a lot of fatal accidents here. I understand. I used to work at this airport, so I totally understand that. But kind of our entire process is based on compiling factual information, and we will develop analysis based on these facts. The factual evidence will provide grounds for us to create a probable cause, so you guys understand what actually happened to the airplane. And that probable cause is based on the evidence. Therefore, if there is no evidence, then we will not have a probable cause will be undetermined, which I'm not suggesting in this case. I'm just stating that.
Imagine there are millions of different possibilities.
Millions of different possibilities, tons, and that's why we, the evidence we gathered here today, we need to corroborate, follow up with other pieces of information to make sure that we have the facts correct. Because like I said before, we would not be doing the family or the aviation community the justice if we were just, jumping to conclusions.
Just last thing, what sort of communication did the folks in the tower have with this plane?
What do you mean?
Did they talk on the radio? Plot them on a radar screen?
So it's suggestive. They were talking to air traffic control. They were talking to initially a separate air traffic control division who handed them off to the Santa Rosa Tower.
So it was another airport, at a different airport?
No, it's a TRACON.
Where were they based?
It's a different air traffic control facility. It's basically a facility that monitors instrument traffic and VFR traffic for that matter. Instrument traffic and visual traffic, at all times to provide kind of separation.
Are they based somewhere along the route that this plane took? the Traycon?
Is the facility based on
Yeah,
that?
wherever they were talking to these people at the Traycon. The pilot was communicating with this ATC.
I think they were on, and I don't want to, they could have been on one of two approach communication signs. They're Oakland or NorCal, would be Oakland, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, Oakland, okay.
And they were handed off to Santa Rosa at some point.
Yeah, they were handed off to Santa Rosa.
And does Santa Rosa have a voice with them?
Yes, I believe that. I believe they did.
Do you know what they said or anything?
No, I don't.
I might have asked this, but I'm not sure if I did it. Do you know what time they left Palm Springs?
No, I don't.
Do you know route they flew like coming into the Bay Area? No.
I don't. Again, part of the archive air traffic control information that we need, we're still working on getting. Probably in my email inbox at this moment, but I haven't had a chance to review it. When I do, promise it will be published information.
Can you just forward that to us?
No.
I'm just kidding.
I know you are. You're a character.
It'll be on the NTSB website, the main website.
That's correct, and it's www.ntsb.gov. And just to tell you guys, just for the sake of the website, the link that you're going to be looking for is beneath the photo collage that initially comes up on the page. The link you're looking for is entitled Aviation Accident Database.
One last thing,
By all means.
can you describe how the plane came to rest? Just sort of how it was positioned and so forth? Just questions about that. Was it on its back or side, and which way was it pointed, that sort of thing?
I have the heading there, or I have the heading of the wreckage, the heading of the impact, or the the direction between the initial impact point and a crater that we found, the direction from the crater to the main wreckage itself. The numbers, they're going to be in my preliminary
So
report.
hit and then kind of move a little bit after, like that?
There's an initial impact point. I'll say this, there's an initial impact point, there's a crater, and then there's the main wreckage.
And did the plane wind up on its back or side or?
The airplane itself is substantially damaged, so I can't really indicate. Substantially damaged. I can't really indicate exactly whether it landed on its back, side, whatnot. It's there's a lot of separations in the fuselage and the empennage. So it's not as straightforward as a response as one would think.
So you pick up all those pieces and take it to Sacramento and study it?
That's right.
When do you think you'll begin loading that up?
Plan is to do it tomorrow afternoon. Unfortunately, I just got a call before we started the press conference that may not happen. So I know you probably want to get a shot of them airlifting this thing out.
Yeah.